The curtains fell again on a most cherished life on Saturday, the 3rd of August, 2024. Words fail me. If my wishes could be granted, I'll surely ask for God to let me have back this woman of valor, a teacher, a prophet, a pastor, a mentor, a role model, a mother who has touched countless lives, inspiring many to grow in their faith and walk closely with the Lord. Pastor Mrs. Fola Achudume, the wife of Apostle Lawrence Achudume, General Overseer of ft.Late Bible Church, Abeokuta, Ogun State. Your exit has created a huge void. It's like the whole world is depopulated. Though death is a penalty we all pay for the privilege of life. We loved you, but God said He wanted you, and there you are in heavenly places. Angels are rejoicing over your grand entrance into the Holy of Holies with hymns that you so loved to sing. To say we'll miss you is an understatement. I can just go on and on and on. But we'd like to hear your voice again and again. On this very sad note, I welcome you to this special edition of Feminine Scope on OGBC 90.5 FM. This edition is in memory of our dear mother, Pastor Mrs. Fola Achudume. My name is Toyin Sogbesan, TS. This was an interview I conducted with Pastor Mrs. Fola Achudume on December 2nd, 2017. It's still fresh, and I'm sure generations yet to come will find it useful and to always be a reference point. Let's listen to her again.
She'll introduce herself. I only know as Mommy G.O. So Mommy G.O., please can we get to know you, ma'am?
All right, thank you very much. I'm Fola Achudume.
Oh, wonderful.
Wow.
Really nice to be with you.
Thank you.
So it's nice getting here and for you to give us some of your time out of your busy schedule. It's really a wonderful privilege. Now, I would like to start with your growing up years, your background years. Who were your parents? Where were you born? And what was growing up like for you?
Thank you. Well, I was born in the city of Ibadan, your state. My father, Chief B.C. Additional, is a retired civil servant. And my mother, Mrs. Lydia Additional, she was a businesswoman all through my growing up days. That's what I know how to do, business and business and business. Well, the family, I would say, in terms of status, I witnessed about 3 levels in my family. The initial stage was a stage of, I could say we were average, and probably would have been a little bit better than average if not for the polygamy. I grew up in a polygamy. If not for the polygamy aspect of my family. Because beyond the fact that my father had not one wife, was the fact that we was family oriented. So a lot of the extended family lived with us. So our house is always full, and so that brought a little bit of struggle, in terms of meeting up. But then, averagely, we were okay. And after a while, maybe after I left secondary school, I did my A-levels in Polytechnic Ibadan. Before I went to university. About the time I was in university, probably the 3rd year to the 4th year, a bit of change happened in my family because my father then was transferred somehow to the federal service. And then he was up there, a federal civil servant, he was director of federal parastatal. And so things changed for the family. But then I would not say that I enjoyed it that much because I was already in the university, almost the final year, between the third or the fourth year, when all those things happened. So my siblings, junior ones, were able to probably enjoy the little bit of it. We that were ahead, I had 3 siblings. I had 1 brother and 2 sisters ahead of me. So we were the ones that really went through a little bit of hardship, trusting God for this, for school fees to be paid, for this and that and that. So
how many were you really?
Well, in all together, his own polygamy was not that, we were 10.
10.
We were 10.
How many from your mom?
My mom, we are 4. There is one that is senior to me, that was not my mom's daughter, but my mom took her as a daughter. So that makes us to be 5. But she is my father's daughter. But my mom took her to be her own daughter. So we could say we are 5. But the one, biologically, she had 4. I am the 3rd in the 4.
Okay. Now, can you take us through your schools?
Yes.
The schools you attended.
I was the first daughter, the first child of my father to have the privilege of going to nursery and primary school. My senior ones went to Pure Public Primary School. I went to Sacred Heart Nursery and Primary School in Ring Road in Ibadan. And from there I went to Queen's School in Ibadan. And then to Polytechnic for a year for basic studies. And then I went to University of Ibadan.
Oh, I see. So after your university education, where did you do your youth service?
I did it in Kaduna State.
Okay.
Kaduna State.
So after the youth service, did you work at all?
After I left Kaduna, I took up an employment with Festac 77 Hotel in Lagos. They used to be Doba Hotel.
Yeah.
So I worked in their credit control office as a credit control officer. So I stayed there for maybe about 2 years before I came down to Abeokuta for marriage purpose, and I started working with Abeokuta Grammar School as a school teacher.
Oh, I see.
I taught chemistry.
Oh, you taught chemistry.
Yeah.
So I mean, chemistry and credit control. I'm just trying
in Nigeria, anything is possible.
Okay.
In Nigeria, anything is possible.
You were science bear?
I was.
Okay.
I got into Festac 77 Hotel with the hope of doing something that is closely related to science in an hotel setting, and which would have been the food and beverage department.
Exactly.
But somehow when I got there were a lot of struggles in terms of vacancy and all those things, and the place they had that vacancy was in the accounting department.
Okay.
So I had to learn to go do a lot of trainings and all those stuff to be able to cope there. But anything is possible, and with God all things are possible.
These days, people look at ladies or girls who work in the hotel as, there is a kind of connotation to that. When you say I work in a hotel as a young girl, people just look at you and say, hotel, why hotel?
Why
so
hotel?
Why did you decide to go
Thank you. That's a very lovely question, because when the offer came up, I was just finishing service here. I wanted to go back and do masters and all those stuff. But I also looked at so many things, probably we'll get into it, in terms of being a Christian and having an understanding of where God was taking one to in terms of ministry and church. I needed to do something. For the sake of the family that will come. So the offer that came up was this. So, and I remember then talking with my friends, because I said, I cannot work in the hotel. Number one, as a Christian, as a lady, what would they say about me? What would they say? So, but after, praying about it and getting a better understanding of what I see it, because by the time I sat down to think about it, I saw it as an opportunity to be a light. I saw it as an opportunity to bring another testimony of somebody that works in a hotel and maintain her values, maintain her dignity, and still is who she's supposed to be. So I saw it as a bait, as an opportunity that I should just go and show forth the light that I have, no matter what obtains there, and then prove that one can maintain whatever it is that who you are, irrespective of the environment that you find yourself. But it has to be with determination and you knowing what you want in life and where you are going in life. That was what took me there at the end of the day. Initially, I was afraid of how can I go to such a place? What will men say about me? Your Christian virtues, your Christian values, beyond that, your moral values. So, and I said, okay, no, I'm not going to do. But after praying and praying, I said, okay, the instruction that God gives is for us to go out into the world. Now, if you don't have something to, if you want to win people for me, if you want people to see who I am in your life, if you don't go out there, how would they see? So that was the step that took me there. But on getting there, I discovered that it's not actually what we feel it is. It's a function of your choice. No doubt there are people that will mess up themselves. But there are people that have also decided that, who knows where they are going in life, and know that we don't have to mess up ourselves to become great in life. We can follow course, we can be on course, we can do what is right and maintain, our integrity. So it's not as it is, it's a function of choice.
I see. Now that's a great exposition on the views that most people hold about ladies who work in the hotel.
Yes.
Now you said you taught at as a chemistry teacher in Abeokuta Grammar School.
Yeah.
Why did you decide to go into teaching? Was it after marriage or before?
It's after marriage.
Okay, so I think we should start with the first things first. So when did you decide to get married? Why that time?
Why that time? Wow, that's a serious one. I never thought I would marry. I finished service, I think I served 1990, 91 or thereabout. We got married 1992. The reason was because of the assignment in our hands. My husband was called into full-time ministry, and I had to come on board because of the assignment. That's just the way I can describe it. So I had to give in, okay, let's get married, let's start. Because the world we are in today, you must know where you are going and what God wants you to do, for you to do what you need to do part time and per season. So there was that need for us to get married in 1992. And that was how we got married. And after marriage, I was still in Lagos, in Festac 77 Hotel, but looking at it as a pastor's wife then, the aspect of being together, the aspect of having a home, and because for a while I was in Lagos, so I would go sometimes Sunday night or early Monday morning. Anytime I go early Monday morning, I discover that there's no how I could do it. I will always get to the office late. So I had to change and say, go Sunday evening. But sometimes I still compromise with the understanding of my boss. I will take permission and all those things. And then I leave Friday night from Lagos. So it was a bit, you need to do some things. You had no doubt you are able to do some things, but then it was becoming stressful, it was becoming challenging and all those things. So we now needed to come down to Abeokuta. What can one do in Abeokuta? Abeokuta is purely a civil service state. And yes, do I really want, was it that I was looking for a teaching job or wherever it is, but that was what I could get in Abeokuta because of the family, because of the marriage, and because of the family that will come to be. So I had to come down to Abeokuta to start teaching.
So who is the daddy? And how did you meet him?
Okay, it's Apostle Lawrence Achudume. We met during the service here in Kaduna. And that is it.
A lot of young girls will say, me and Copper. No. How can I be a youth copper and be dating
a youth copper?
What's your take?
Oh my God. You see, there are things, like I said earlier, I say it all depends on who you know you are and what God wants for you. I am not one person that believes that it is what somebody has that should dictate whether you should marry him. Rather, it is what God wants for you. After that, looking at the person, the personality involved. I used to tell ladies, young ladies particularly, that what you are looking for in a husband, in a man, whether it's a husband material, are 4 things that, let me just mention 4 out of 8. Number 1, you must know that this man fears the Lord. A man that fears the Lord will be afraid of treating a lady, the lady anyhow. So he must have a relationship with God. He must appreciate God, reference God, must be able to be obedient, live an obedient life unto the Lord. That is very important. The most important aspect when it comes to the social aspect of life is that he must have a vision. A man that has a vision is marriable. Today I see many ladies crying out that they want taking, being responsible for the family, they're this, they're that, and I ask them, before you got married, how was the man? You will know when a man has a vision. It will show in the way he talks. It will show in his day-to-day lifestyle. What he talks about, what he's thinking about, what do you do at the time you meet? You will see vision in a man by your relationship with him. Is he a man of vision? Number 3, is he a man that you can be proud of? Who you will be able to introduce to people that meet my fiancé, meet my husband. If it's a man that you will choose that, okay, be going in front, I will come after you, then you need to check it again. That's something wrong there. Number 4, is he a man you will respect, that you will not struggle to be a wife to? Because there are certain factors about wife and husband in terms of not just about tradition, godly factors. A wife must submit, a husband must love. Is he a man that you will you won't struggle at all to look at him as the head of the home? Is he a man that when he says things, you will consider his opinion, you will consider what he says? That means you respect his views, you respect his opinion, you respect his vision and his mission in life. When you can do all this, beyond the fact that whether he has money or he doesn't have money, all these things, because money is something that will come and answer to vision. It is inside vision that our provision lies. So that was my own attitude to life. So whether he was a copper or he was not the issue. What did God say? Is he God-fearing? Is he a man that has a vision? What he has today does not limit him to where he's going to. The point is, he has something that will speak for the future. And that was it. Because my husband came from a very poor background. Very poor background. He talks about it every day. I consider myself to have come from an average, whatever it is, family, which to me sometimes I consider that I wasn't too privileged when growing up, and that is the truth. When my friends are talking about they are traveling to this place, they are traveling to, there's nowhere to travel to. The best I will go is probably go to the village, or go to this, or go to that. But he came from a very poor, very humble background, and but I didn't look at that to make my choice, because I believe that there is a big God. When somebody has God, there's nothing anybody cannot become. Yeah.
Now that we have the privilege of talking to you, I want you to enlighten us on some areas of young girls' life. One, especially in terms of this relationship and marriage, what we call marriage and relationship.
Yeah.
Number 1, I want you to talk to us about this issue of sex before marriage.
Yeah.
A lot of girls believe that, look, I have to try the man I want to marry. What if he cannot do? That is one. Then, some men, before they get married, they want the woman, the lady, to be pregnant.
Yeah.
And they say, yes, unless you get pregnant, I cannot marry.
Yeah.
Then number 3, this issue of living lovers. That we must be living together for quite some time for us to know each other, and see whether we can get married. So these 3 areas, I want you to please enlighten our young ladies and men too.
Thank you, ma'am. You see, the world we are in now is, sometimes I sit down and I wonder what is happening in our days. And they call it, the people out there will call it that it's a sex world. And that is why values has been thrown away when it comes to sex. I tell young ladies that, yes, when I'm talking to different sets of people, they said, they will call me, they say, Mama, you are old school. They use that word for me regularly, everywhere in the world. You know, and Nigeria, the way we follow wrong things, it's so amazing. Now, abroad, yes, they will say, you are old school. Stop talking like that. When I get there, but I'll tell them that whether you see me as old school or not, we cannot close our eyes to what is right. Now, I tell young ladies that because you discover that, I don't know, you will know that many ladies would have allowed themselves to have sex with men, a particular man, and at the end of the day, the man may not marry them. Some of them will suffer to the point of having children that they will not call themselves single parents, not being settled. And you see, the average man out there is looking for how to taste what a woman carries. When you enter into a relationship with a man, the average man you enter into a relationship will always want to open your skirt to try it. Now, it's not, I tell ladies every day, it's your choice. Because somehow, a lady has the capacity and the capability to resist. But oftentimes they say, I want to be, I've met so many ladies. Say, if I say no, he will say he's not doing again. If I say no, he says I don't love him. If I say no, he says this. And I tell them that, no. If because you said no, he says you don't love him, then leave him. Because the point is, it's not sex that shows that you love a man. Sex has to do with the flesh. Now, it doesn't, some girls will say, I have to use sex so that I can hold him. No, sex does not hold a man. When a man wants to go, he leaves. So it's not left for the girl to know what she wants in life. You want to become, I call them, do you want to be a sample in a man's hand that is just testing? I want to see whether you can give birth to a child. I want to see. So if now you can't give birth to a child, he leaves. And he will go and marry somebody else, but he has used you. And then you are the one that's lost. You are the loser. I said, girls, we are always on the losing end when it comes to this. So therefore, we need to talk to have some. Let's do a rethink. And position ourselves where who will marry you will marry you. Your husband will always come. Don't, because of the assumptions, so-called assumption, now lose your value, make yourself so cheap. And there's a way guys talk. Say, I've used that one, yeah. You become somebody they've used and dumped. And you are making up the story of your life. A story that, you will be so much ashamed in the future to talk about. Yes, it will be a lesson at the end of the day, but then it can be avoided. Let every lady have values for themselves. Have a culture of dignity. Don't just let anybody touch you before marriage. I canvass for that. No matter how they call me old school, because I know that you keep yourself. I've discovered that even the men that they say nobody is a virgin today, I've sampled their opinion many times in meetings. I say, okay, those of you that are married, I want to ask you a question. How many of you that the husband you have today, at one time or the other in your relationship, did not ask you whether you are a virgin? Maybe out of 10, is only one person I could see that the husband didn't ask. I said, okay, the other 9, why did they ask? If they don't appreciate virginity, the average man appreciates it. It's just that they just believe that there is no virgin again in this world. But there are remnants. There are people that still keeps themselves. So it's in a lady's hand. If a man says, okay, you must give birth, I must know. I've seen so many relationships that has broken because the girl did not get pregnant. I say, so he has gone now. You are left alone for another man to come. And that man comes again, he samples you and sees that you didn't give birth. That one leaves you again. So at the end of the day, you will be the one that Yorubas will say, Ole Sile, that is just there. Because you allowed yourself to be used. Now, can God not do something even after marriage that they say, okay, you didn't get pregnant? Are you the one that is? I've seen a girl that God had mercy upon. About 2 men tried that, she didn't get pregnant and all those stuff. She came to God and began to serve God. By the time I said, if you let it happen again, by the time the third man will come, say, no sex until marriage. No sex until marriage. And immediately after marriage, she got pregnant. She got pregnant. I said, these are the issues, but we just mess up ourselves. We make ourselves carry a wrong name. You know, at the end of the day, it's the lady that loses. The living relationship too is not honorable. Many ladies are living with a man that has not paid their dowry, that has not gone to know the family members. If anything happens, what will you say? You are not living a life that could make people to back you up. Because these are the factors of life. Now, when things are done the right way, your honor is maintained. You are able to stand on a clean ground. Heaven fights for you. People fight for you because you did it in the right way. I don't believe in all those things. I believe that if you can do what is right, God is not a wicked God. He will help.
Autenticado, autenticado, sweet I serve a living God, oh, even the devil knows, say not true, oh. I serve a living God, oh, everybody knows, say now you there.
That has been a special package of Feminine Scope, first broadcast on December 2nd, 2017 on OGBC 90.5 FM. This is in memory of our dear Pastor Mrs. Fola Achudume, the wife of Apostle Lawrence Achudume, General Overseer of Victory Life Bible Church, Abeokuta, Ogun State. May your sweet and gentle soul rest in peace. Adieu. And Feminine Scope on this occasion commiserate with the entire Achudume family, most especially our father in the Lord, Pastor Lawrence Achudume. It is only God who will console you and the entire family. Remain blessed, sir. I thank my producer, Temilade Tijani, assisted by Fumilayo Akintoye. My studio manager is Bukola Olatunji. My name is Toyin Sogbesan, TS. Do enjoy your weekend. Good morning.